I've been thinking about the process of learning new skills quite a lot recently, and in this video I'm going to share some of my observations with you, so perhaps you can step on a path of just more effective learning where you actually tie some of your skill development to your business and marketing and personal development goals. Because in today's environment, we are so overwhelmed by the amount of content that is available online, and a lot of the efforts that we put into learning new skills is kind of scattered. And if this is you, then this video is going to be for you, because we are going to develop a much more focused approach to online learning and developing new skills, so that instead of just drowning in the sea of available information online, you will be focusing on the things that are most important and stuff that is going to move the needle the most for your business or personal life. I'm quite sure that you've gone through a couple of online courses and you've been probably watching a lot of YouTube videos to learn new stuff, and you've been listening to podcasts and listening to audiobooks and reading articles. But I want you to consider just a simple thing. How much of this information that you have absorbed over the last couple of weeks have you actually implemented in your own business or personal life? And the other question, which is, I think, even more pointed, is that are you just learning to be learning? Are you just gathering more information and actually you are avoiding doing the hard things that are going to make the most difference in your life? This is a really great question to ask, because if it's the case, then you need a fresher and better approach. Because the fact is that if you don't immediately apply the things that you are learning to some kind of a business or personal goal, then this information is kind of useless for you. So the first principle here is that action is better than intelligence or gathering intelligence or knowledge. This is a really important concept, and it took me a lot of time to figure this out, since I have read or listened to 500 or more audiobooks and just hundreds of podcasts. What is the alternative? Let's say that you want to learn something like Google Ads, but you will be using Google Ads in any immediate future. So then why are you learning it in the first place? Let's just take a different approach, where first you look at the goals that you have, the things that you want to accomplish, something that will just inspire you and light your soul on fire. And then ask yourself, what skills do I need to make this thing happen? And this is where we can introduce the concept of just-in-time learning. So you should be probably learning the stuff that is going to be most crucial for you right now, and it's tied to your business or personal goals. So you should not learn something that might be useful in a couple of months or weeks or years. Instead, just use the personal goals that you have and tie them to your learning goals. So that's the first thing. The other thing is this whole concept of taking online courses. And I actually am a co-owner in an online education company, and we are producing courses. And this is a great way to learn if this is the skill that you are going to need in the very near future. But actually, what I found for me personally is that instead of doing online courses that often contain outdated information, especially if you are working in digital marketing or coding or online business or something like this, where things are moving so fast, then probably YouTube is going to be your best way to learn some of these new skills, perhaps coupled with generative AI, something like ChatGPT or Claude. The other important thing is that right now you don't really need to go through a lot of information before you start taking action on the actual thing that you try to accomplish. So it's much easier these days to just learn by doing. And this is because of generative AI. Right now, for example, you can be a complete newbie to something like Final Cut Pro or Meta Ads or LinkedIn ads or web development, but you can just start to conceptualize the thing that you want to accomplish, and then you just start talking to generative AI, and it will take you step by step through the process. So even if you don't really know a lot of stuff about the thing, you will learn on the job and you will accomplish your goals at the same time. So this makes much more sense, in my opinion. Instead of focusing on theory, it's much better to learn on the go through actual implementation, because then your memory is going to be working much better as well. You will remember all of these steps because you have taken some kind of action. But if you just scroll through, let's say, an online course and there is no immediate application, then you will quickly forget the information unless you repeat it many times and then store it in your long-term memory. The other thing is that it's much better to focus on providing value for other people, for example, in your organization, in your community, than just learning for learning's sake. It's also great to check your content consumption habits. You can use it with some kind of an app like the one you have on your phone that shows you in which apps you spend the most time. There's something like Time Doctor for your computer as well. So then you can see how much time you actually spend on content consumption versus on just creating value for other people and working on your actual goals. And you will learn actually so much stuff by just trying to tackle your goals than from this perspective, just this constant content consumption is basically a waste of time. To be honest, it's enough to spend something like 3 to 5 hours per week on learning, and then all of the rest of the time should be spent on application. Now it's important to identify the actual skills that you will tie to your personal or business goals. So you can do it with generative AI. Just type in the next goal that you want to achieve and you will get all the skills you need. But in general, it's also good to just have awareness of the new skills that will be highly paid in the future. So it's great to just keep your finger on the pulse, but at the same time, you just learn on the job and apply the knowledge immediately. So for this, you could just create a couple of blocks in your calendar and learn only during these periods, instead of just going through all of this deluge of information that is available online. In this way, it's going to be much more focused. Finally, it's important to measure your success based on the results that you achieve instead of the amount of knowledge that you have accumulated. Yeah, so that's that. I hope you have found this video helpful. Perhaps you can check some of my other videos on this channel. Please share a comment, just share a comment, tell me what you think about this whole concept, and if what I said in this video is going to change the approach you take to learning in any way. And I'm going to see you in the next video.